Alright, so this is Tom Hill, Task 4 of Psychology. He's going to attempt to identify, explain and analyse 4 factors which influence group dynamics and performance in team sports. He's talking about the Ringelmann effect, social loafing, task and social cohesion and the group development, stages of group development. Okay, so Tom Hill, you're England football manager. We've got the World Cup next year and there's been a few issues around the group dynamics. So Andy Gudgeon here, Sky Sports News. We've been talking about this Ringelmann effect taking place, so can you talk to me about that please?
Okay, so the Ringelmann effect, what it basically is it's when the players don't give 100% because they're relying on other people in the team to put in the effort for them instead of everyone giving 100%. So if we look back on the last World Cup, all the pressure was on Wayne Rooney and other big players, Gerrard stepping up as captain. So all the other players kind of thought, well, if these are our star players, why are we trying so hard? Because these are clearly could win us the game so easy. So a good example of this is, like I said, Rooney. All the players.
So who was not trying then? Who was part of the team that wasn't trying?
Well, all the shadow players. So if you look at Milner's, Theo Walcott, Gareth Barry wasn't putting the efforts when we just got shown up against Germany because Germany turned up as a team, all knew that they had to give 100% and showed us up for what we were.
All right. So then, as a coach, then how can you make sure that this Ringelmann effect doesn't take place?
Well, we need to start making players try harder in training, giving 100%, fighting for the positions. So, and with obviously the new technology, we're having heart rate monitors, so we know they're working harder, and we know how much they're putting in the effort. So we know, obviously, who deserves a shirt.
All right. So good. So there's a lot of talk about this that links onto that is social loafing, and I know my colleague from the Sun had a few people marked down for the Chile game as being social loafing and getting like 3 and 4 out of 10. So can you talk to me a little bit about that, please?
Okay, so what social loafing is when players don't really turn up for games and the conditions they're playing in. So and don't really want to play the full 90 minutes. So a good example of this is obviously the recent World Cup qualifiers. Against San Marino, where small stadium, small crowd, not their rapport team, so we should have won. No pressure on us. So Theo Walcott doesn't really like travelling in our team, so he goes quite quiet on the bus in the changing rooms, and on the pitch it shows. So obviously he's playing week in week out club, but they're all big games against Man U, Chelsea, Tottenham, but with a big crowd, all the pressure's on. But he had no pressure and just kind of gave up on the game and expected all the other players to do it.
Alright, so again, as a coach, then how can you combat that then? Because obviously a professional footballer is playing, it's like his job, so he's got to be able to perform. Yeah. So what can you do?
Well, he's just got to know that he's not just playing for him, he's playing for the team. So he needs to be giving in 100% all the time, and even if it is a game that we should win, we need to practice moves that we do in training and try and get it onto the pitch. And Theo needs to start becoming more of a team player.
Alright. Okay, then there's a lot of talk about this task and social cohesion and saying that the group aren't very gelled together, so can you talk to me about that then?
Well, it's quite difficult because obviously they're all big players in the England squad, so they're all in the title contenders teams in the Premier League. So when players come for the international break, some of them don't really get on. So a good example of this is Wazza, Wayne Rooney and Gerrard, both play for big rival clubs, Man U and Liverpool. So they need to quite gel together straight away, obviously to link up. Same with Sturridge and Rooney, because they're needing to link up to play together to play well and help each other out. So when players do come together from different clubs, we try and gel them together straight away.
Alright, so what's the difference between task, cohesion and social cohesion?
Well, task is where we're basically trying to all go for the same title and the same task ahead of us. And social cohesion's like off the field, talking, being friends.
Alright, so give me some examples in the England team then. Are you socially cohesive as a bunch, or?
Yeah, I'd say we're all quite close together. I mean, the players try to have a laugh with like Joe Hart when the Man City plays with the Man U about the last minute goal. But I'd say we've got quite a happy setup at the moment.
Alright, so what kind of things do you do to keep them socially cohesive then?
We just kind of do group bonding exercises, things like that, days out, trips.
Yeah.
And then obviously when we need to before games, we'll have training sessions and we can work together strongly.
Alright, so do you think the group's task cohesive then? Do they all know their own roles and stuff?
Yeah, I'd say the team does. We all know what we need to do to win titles and contend in Brazil.
Alright, good. And finally, a lot's been talked about this newspaper article on stages of group development and saying that the England football team don't really know what the stages of group development are and how it affects performance. So can you give me some comment on that?
Okay, so this is basically the forming, storming, norming and performing stages. With the forming, this is when the teams come together for obviously when we're in the international breaks. They get away from the clubs and they get to know each other for the first time. So when Ricky Lambert was coming in from Southampton, it was his first time with all the other England players that he's never played with before. So he kind of needed to get to know the players, get to know who's the joker, who's the leader, and who's like the hard worker in training. Which is then followed by the storming, which is when the players start to kind of confront each other, argue a bit, but get to know who is which role. So they all kind of fight for each roles. So obviously in our team we've got Gerrard's a bit of a joker, and Gerrard's a big trainer with Milner and a great leader. And then the next one's norming, which is where the players finally get to know each other, and we've got a great group cohesion going on. We're all bonding, playing well, having a laugh, training hard, which is hopefully going to lead into good performance in the World Cup.
Alright, so what stage do you reckon England are as a team at the moment?
I'd say we're norming at the moment because we're getting on well together. We've been putting in the odd good performances, apart from obviously with Chile. We just need to start putting in what we're putting on the training field onto the pitch.
Alright, good. So you've talked about 4 different factors there then. So is there one that you're thinking is the most important that you're going to identify and work on?
I'd say the most important is the social loafing, which is where we as a team need to make sure that the task ahead is what we're going for, and even if it is a small warm-up game, that we need to put 100% effort in all the time and try to help out our teammates as well as yourselves, instead of going for individual prizes, i.e. top goal scorer and that, and try and win the main thing.
Right, good. Do you want to expand on anything else in this press conference?
No, I'm okay. I think that'll be it.